Okay, now we come to opening the door. Now we're going to start off with the driver's position. I mentioned the key. This is a spring-loaded latch, so you don't need the key to close it. You do need it to open it. It actually opens very easily. The catch is if you look inside, there's a turret in the way. If you are in the turret crew, you are far better off just climbing up the top and coming down the top hatch. The driver, however, has no option in the matter. He's got to go in through the side and forward. First thing you got to do is you got to make sure there is a passageway for you to do so, which means reach up, grab the handle, and rotate the turret, which in fairness is pretty simple, to the correct direction. Now, if you were trying to get out in a hurry, I'm sure you can see the flaw if the turret does not happen to be in a convenient location for you to get in. Getting in itself though, hold on to, remember I said that turret ring protector had a secondary function? It also works as a handle. So grab hold of it and swing yourself in. I'm stuck. And there's a handle under here. Rotate my body left. There we go. Well, that was inconvenient. And in we come. Hopefully getting out will be easier. This isn't bad. Okay, so as I'm sitting in here, I fit. Again, so people complain to me that, oh, you're too tall. And yeah, granted, in 4x2 standards, I am tall. Yet, compared to certain other vehicles I have been in, including some far more modern ones than this, I have room to access the clutch, brake, and accelerator. The shifting is easy. I can have a good grip. I can sit at my full upright. They have additional padding just to keep you safe. Now, granted, of course, I probably would wear a helmet. It'll add an extra inch, half inch. The backrest just locks into place, and this is very easy to drive. The front visor, it's spring loaded, so lift up on the spring, pull down. And here we go, we have now little slits to protect you. And of course it would additionally be triplex. So there's triplex glass front and in the two sides to protect you from a bullet splash, which otherwise, of course, would be somewhat annoying. So again, pull out, lift up, very easy. The seat actually has a handle in here, so it's got forwards and backwards adjustment as well. Really not a problem. Okay, what other fun toys and gadgets do we have? Looks like we got batteries on the left here. Master power, if I don't miss my guess. On the right, I see handles. That jack I mentioned for the engine compartment. The handles and valves here on the right, next to all these Thompson machine gun magazines. Intercom system. Should be a hand mic if I recall. A little bit inconvenient. You got to wear it around your neck, push the talk, and then you're talking into this thing. If you're driving, I could see that perhaps being a concern. See a water canteen, handbrake. 4-speed transmission plus reverses on the left hand side. Now there is a transfer case on the right for high and low range. So technically this vehicle has 8 speeds forwards and 2 in reverse. Handle near right is for your high and low gear transfer case. Handle on the far right is for disengaging or engaging the front wheel. So ordinarily this is a two-wheel drive vehicle. But when you start going off-road, engage the front drive and you're sorted. No particular surprises with the controls. Water and oil, pressure and temperature, amperage, and the speedometer by Smith's goes up to 60. There's a small shrouded light bulb here. You can rotate the shroud depending on how much you want to see. And your three pedals, your clutch, brake, accelerator, all exactly where you would expect them to be. Looks like spare triple X mounting. The Thompson machine gun, I mentioned the ammo on the right side. And your interconnector for the intercom system. That's pretty much it. I mean, this really isn't a bad place to sit. Okay, right, so to get out of here, first thing I'll do is pull the backrest down, lift the gunner's seat out of the way, lie back, look for the handle that's on the left here. I guess my right, I'll hold on to the beza, why not, and worm my way out. My knife and back pocket get caught. Could be better, could be worse. It's the same with the GM Fox. Once you're in, it's fine. The problem is getting in and out. All right, let's go up. Nice of them to put handles at convenient locations. I was going to flip down my foot, but yeah, okay. All good, okay. Right. TC's correction. Gunner's hatch. So you got a ventilator to the front, a periscope which rotates, and the hatch itself is a simple flip forward. Now, as I get in, the first thing I notice, oh hello, is the lack of a turret basket. And because the vehicle seems to be on a very slight left slope, I'm actually sliding off to the left. But if I'm going to ask my cameraman to watch out his feet whilst I not traverse, because the camera, that camera is on a tripod in the back deck and it will fall over and it'll be really expensive. It's my second camera, another $2,000. Thank you, Patreon people, sorry about that. But that's where the money goes. It goes on equipment. If it's not the audio equipment I'm destroying, it's the cameras. So, yeah. Anyway, digression. But as I'm looking here, I see the ammo bin to my front, and I have to assume I got to be very careful. Fortunately, of course, as the gunner, I get to control just how fast this thing spins right or left. So if I crush my own leg, it's my own bloody fault. We'll see if the TC is in as fortunate a position. So the periscope to the front, is this the British one that, or the Polish design actually, which if you pull it down, it should actually flip to the far side. There we go. So it will pull down, rotate around. I'll only pull it down that part way. And now I can see to the back because there's a different mirror being used. So, invented by the Poles, stolen by the British and the Soviets both. But a very nice little design. I'll get a little bit more lubricant in front. Oh, gun wrench, looks like. All right, traverse and elevation. Well, the hand traverse you saw a bit earlier. Again, it's very light and yeah, almost. And to the front, this wrench, I thought it was used for the breech. Maybe it is as well, but it is also used, probably not original, it says Germany on it, to release the travel lock. So this is basically a friction travel lock. So I have to release the travel lock. Just loosen it a little bit here, and it's starting to slip out. There we go.
So this is the old British standard of there will be a shoulder pad, comes all the way up, put your face to the sight, and away you go. Now the sight is simple, to put it blindly. I would have thought it would be the standard American sight, in which case, but it's not. The 37mm sight for an American gun is a bit different. Now, so the next question I have is this the original 37 sight for this gun? And what you can't see is my cameraman, who is, of course, one of the owners of the vehicle, nodding, yes, this is the original sight. So obviously the British had a different requirement. So the American 37mm gun reticle, it had a dot, it had a mil scale. It was actually possible to estimate range very easily. The scale on this is simply graduated for range, 500, 1,000 and 1,500 yards for the 37 and 400, 800 and 1,200 yards for the machine gun. And there are, well, it looks like it's either a 5 and 10 or 2.5 and 5 mil scale left and right for some range estimation, some lead estimation. I have handles for, it looks like, I presume, the two guns. So there's a physical cable that goes to the left and it pulls back the trigger on the besa. And there's a handle on the right, which I would assume, although it's not connected, oh, no, it's connected mechanically, not by a lever, not by a cable, to a disconnected connector, because as you can see, there's no breach in this vehicle right now, because, hey, it's used for reenactment purposes. You don't need a real 37 for that. So let me just clamp this travel lock back into place right quick, because we don't want to damage anybody's head as we're driving around. A little bit inconvenient, but okay. Machine gun on the right is the Besa 792. Of course, the British, the Royal Armoured Corps were different. The Besa came in the 792, so a 792 is what they use. And of course, they're the only people in the British Army to use this caliber, but it was the standard Royal Armoured Corps caliber, so there wasn't if it was a shortage of ammunition. Belt on the left for your spent canvas, and the feed, it looks like, is just dropping off on the right. I'm not going to lift up the top on this, but it is very solidly mounted. So if you look, if you're used to, let's say, an American M240 and a model machine gun with quick pin releases, this is not something that you're going to take off in just a matter of moments. And of course, you're not going to change a barrel, but the Besa did have the advantage. It was designed really for vehicles, so a lot of the concerns for infantry machine guns that get converted to vehicle use don't apply here. Left hand side, here's that pistol port, grenade port. Spring loaded again, very convenient. And okay, I'm going to see if I can worm my way around to have a look at this as I stick my legs outside of the armor, just so I can rotate around. That's probably an easy way of doing it. This is apparently an observation telescope. Let's see what happens if I open it up. Take the lid off. As I do this carefully. Look at here. And that is the LR. There we go. So it has a very basic mil scale in it. Just, I guess, for the sake of determining range, if you know the size of the target. I have an entirely different video just on range finding. I'll put a link in somewhere. It has a little alignment lug. Lock it back into place. And on the other side. And we are good. So the other thing you can see back here is the Bren, which actually doesn't take up all that much room in here. It's surprisingly useful. Which, of course, we think there's the pintle on the far side. Assorted repair parts. And then we have the radio mounting. It's a number 19, as is pretty typical. And indeed, like a lot of the reenactor vehicles that you have, it was manufactured for export Lend-Lease use. Hence, all the markings are in both English and Cyrillic in Russian. Don't worry too much about the modern radio up top. Again, reenactment purposes.
So one thing they have added in here, and I hadn't seen it before, it kind of confused me. I thought it might be originally for a Lewis gun, but that they just happen to have in here. This is a Bren mag. Now, I've never seen one of these before, so way back in the day, I was actually trained on the 303 Bren by the Irish Army before they went to the 7.62 mag, M240 for Americans. But apparently for anti-aircraft purposes, to have a little bit more ammunition than your standard 30-round mag, you had this rotary drum that just slotted in the same way. Now, I'm not sure how easy it would have been to remove it. So for the 30 round, you just kind of slammed your hand forward. It hit the latch, it hit the mag at the same time. It hurt as hell, but you could do it. But okay, there you go, 30 round mag. That's a learning point for me. So again, another mark in favor of having a vehicle restored as well as possible. The hatch you'll see is metal on the top, so it actually kind of folds forward and then opens. So to get it out, we pull this little leather strap off. Okay. Then there is a sliding handle in the back, and okay, looks like it can't easily be done from inside. Here, let me get my leg out of the way, because I was hoping it might be on a torsion bar and it's not. There we go. And down it comes. And there's a little latch in here, so I guess if I pulled it down, I'll see one here as well. Pull down hard, and I'm stuck. Help! All right, so let's look for the handles. Okay, it's the owner's gesticulating wildly to pull this thing. Let's see. No. Oh, hang on. Aha! So this comes up and it'll probably fall back in on itself. I'm sure my fingers are going to get caught. Let's pull this back. Okay. Spin. There really is no room to rotate around it in this thing. And we'll strap this back up. Ow, and there's my back muscle gone. I hit 50 a little while ago, and my body's basically said, hey, congratulations, you've hit the half century, warranty expired, stuff's going to start breaking on you now. It has been an unpleasant couple of months. All right, 37 on the right. Now again, this is a reenactment vehicle. The breech has been removed. They simply use smoke shotgun rounds, basically, for the effect. But the 37mm was a sliding breech block. You've seen the 37 before. There's nothing unusual about the gun. Now, the only issue might be if it was an M5 gun versus an M6. The difference is the semi-automatic nature of the breech. So if you had an earlier one with an M5, you had a manual open the breech. If it's an M6, it's your standard slam it in, fire, it ejects, slam the next round in. So that's pretty much it. There's a big canvas bag here for the spent shell casings for the 37. I mean, my big issue is this bin down here, the spent shell casing bin, just goes in where my hip should be to sit on the seat. So as I'm sitting on this, my right cheek is on the seat and my left cheek is just hanging in midair, very uncomfortably. So I'm spending a lot of effort either pushing against the left side wall or just kind of using my hip muscles to come to the right. So this is not a winning gunner's position, I have to say. Again, some good features, especially the Polish periscope, but I prefer the driver's hole, all things considered, until you have to get out. And if you have to do that, then so be it. Well, actually, let me see if this seat adjusts. It does not appear to adjust that I can see. No, hang on. There is an adjustment here. So it will raise and lower. On the plus side, they put padding around.
Okay, TC side.
And we come. TC side. A little bit more room.
I'm amused by the spikes of death. If you fall forward, they are guaranteed to snag on your clothes or whatever. It's actually a fairly clever little thing though. So what it is for is the map board. So you can place the map board on these things, complete with your perspex or glass or whatever it is, and pencils, pens. Honestly, that's a clever little feature. They just have to figure out how not to kill people with the thing. So on the right hand side we have ourselves more stuff. There's like electrical. Okay, let's avoid the USB ports. We have another of the British, Polish smoke canisters, it looks like. The wiring is modern as well. Okay, more spare parts. Looks like a wiring junction box. Let's see what's under here. Fuses, perhaps? Yes, we have fuses, and the fuses are cards. Old school. Hand grenades. And a little hand grenade. Okay, that's for the 37. Let's see what we got behind. So I have further racks for ammunition down under here. 37, of course, stowed vertically. As I'm seated, where is... There does not appear to be a backrest, per se. So an option, apparently, is I simply sit myself this way and look right, like this all the time. There is a... I can't remember the name of the vane sight. Maybe it is called the vane sight. It's basically a piece of metal that sticks straight up. As you're instructing the gunner to traverse right or left, once your target is in front of that vane sight, you're pretty much on. He's probably within the field of vision of the gunner. Dome light on the right here. A couple of bags. Again, your number 19 wireless there. All right, coming around. So we have our pistol or grenade ports. So if somebody gets a little bit too close for some reason, grab a grenade, pull pin, open the port, and just chuck it out. Honestly, if somebody's that close, I think it's easier just to tell the driver to put it in reverse and go. Now that I say that, the hassles that he's got to go through to see who is going in reverse, because otherwise I'm down to, as the TC, looking at this periscope, which is now reverse because I've pulled it down to go into reverse mode, and I'm attempting to control the driver saying right or left through a... I would actually have to do it a few times to figure out how you would actually control it. It's either that or it's they open up the back deck so you can look through, or open the hatch, which you probably don't want to do if you're surrounded by infantry. So I can actually see the argument for throwing the grenade out. Give yourself a moment that you can open the hatch, stick your head up, and then tell the driver to drive. The more I do this, the more complicated this all seems to get. Okay, but there's not much else to be said about this. A nice big lamp up here at the top. Okay, so a little bit forward, there's a lamp you can see here, which somehow there we go, comes out. Oh, that's the battery I just pulled. So to detach this, which way does it go? Yeah, whatever. You can get it out. All right, so to the front, the nubs here are for the smoke grenade launchers. There's a big on-off switch for the spotlight at the front. That again, it looks like you have to reach out and manually twiddle. And well, that's pretty much it for the gunner's part as well. TC's part, forgive me. Now there is one additional thing we can do here because we are in a functional armored car, and so it would be a little bit of a shame not to function it. So let's see if we can get the crew mounted up and have a bit of fun. It would help if I aimed. Firing! That pigeon is not happy. Of course, pigeons are very sensitive hearing, so I mean, it's the best you can say. What can I say? It's an oxypropane thing. But it's always fun. Imagine just driving down the road and there's a bit of traffic in your way and your horn doesn't work and you want to make a noise to attract some attention. I don't know what the motor laws are in the state of Iowa that allow you to use a machine gun as a horn or not, but it'll be interesting to try it in court. Alright, half track in sight. Notionally, of course. And firing! Alright, aiming on. 400, so again, single action in this case. So note, the L is firing or firing now in British service, where we would say on the way. But I'm in a British armored car, so firing now! Easy. So all told, there are 69 rounds of 37 stowed around here. There's 10 boxes for the beta. Plus, of course, you got your 5 official magazines for the Bren, and then you got another 10 magazines for your Thompson. And presumably, folks had the Webleys or whatever little pop gun that they had to make themselves feel better as they're running away from the disabled vehicle after they've lobbed all their hand grenades at the pistol ports. All right, one more go. All right, coming around. Aiming at a... I'll be nice, I'm not aiming the window of the neighbor. Firing now! And that's it, with the exception of one more party trick. Smoke firing! $75 meters. So the problem with the smoke is you've really got to figure out where is this wind coming from, because you can't adjust it in train except by the turret. You certainly can't adjust it in distance, and that's what you're stuck with.
Traverse left just a tad.
Yeah, good catch. So that's it for the Humber. I built about 5,400 Humbers of all marks. Relatively popular vehicle. This one saw service after World War II. It ended up getting transferred to Portugal and was actually used in the Carnation Revolution, which, sure, go Google it, you'll find it the background, but it's basically getting rid of the fascist government. So that done, I hope you found it interesting and informative. Again, thank you to the Patreons for the equipment, like the second camera. And of course, a huge thank you to Ryan, Chris, and Dave for giving me the run of the armored car. That said, take care. I'll talk to you on the next one.
You seat sideways for the commander seat. So you face me and straddle it.
Well, that's stupid.
Welsh coal miners.
We have ourselves another grenade port, so hopefully the grenades actually fit out the grenade port. I have 4 seconds to get rid of this grenade. Who put this in here without the pin? All right, let's put this back in. 2 minutes?
Well, that's not terrible.
No,
But you've seen me walk, sir.